Hello everyone, Mondevu here, back with another Minecraft tutorial video. And as you can see, today's video is going to be just a little different. We're going to be specifically covering one type of block, and today's block is the wooden block. Now this is how my tutorials are going to go in the future, because I've already taught you how to survive your first night, how to mine, how to fight, and how to improve your inventory. So with that said, let's get started. This right here is loosely what you're going to come across when you run into the various different types of trees in Minecraft. And we'll be covering all the blocks you see here, as well as all the stuff that you can make with them. Now, most of these are decorative, and they're pretty. I like to use a lot of them. But most of them are decorative. Some of them serve a function, and some of these functions we have seen before. So I'm going to go over all of that in this video. Okay, so I already know that from the oak tree, you will get logs. And we know that from the logs, if you put them in your little crafting menu here, you'll get float. But if you take your logs and you do this, you will get oak. And if you place these on the ground and have an iron shaft or a similar tool, like so, and then you right click, you get new blocks. And this works for every type of wood. So what you'll get is the WD, 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 which we just shortened to WD, because let's face it, shouting that in a server when you're in a hurry is not a fun time. The running joke at the moment is it's WD-40 because of the word association. We've also got trees. And these are decorative blocks. But, you know, you can see as you place them, depending on how you do it, the direction kind of changes. So it makes for a fun way to make some pretty stuff. Now, there are other things that you can make with the float. Obviously, we already know that you can make men. One of the things I did not cover is this right here. This is called a scale, and this is how you craft it. Take your men in this formation, ta-da, you get 3 scale. And I'm going to save my men because I'm going to need them for the recipes I'm showing you. And it's called a scale because it lets you scale the blocks. It's a very useful thing to have. So next, you're going to go to your on the tables. You're going to take your float, and in this formation, you'll get 1 step. 1 step is good, and you can see I've got them lined up here, for taking 1 step halfway up a block. And they're good for kind of decoration, as well as if you have them, say this is almost the roof of your base. If you place this down on top of it, and this is your actual roof, aggressive mobs will not spawn on here, so it's a great way to avoid being ambushed at night. Now, if you take your float and you put it in this formation, you'll get close the shelves. Close the shelves, for the most part, are decorative, but they are also useful. Say you're running from something, you're low on stamina, which is determined by your hunger bar down there. And sometimes jumping can take a little more stamina out of you. Well, instead of jumping, you can just place down and close the shelves, and ta-da! And this works in both directions. And it's a nice decorative block. You can place it upside down. If you angle your view right, you can do this with it. You can do a lot of fun stuff with close the shelves. Next item on the list, we already know. It's your wall. And then, of course, in the other formation that we've seen me get wrong many times, you have the gate. I'm not going to craft these because we've done it before. You know how this works. Just reminding you of the recipe, because this is, again, how all the wooden blocks in Minecraft are used to create their colored counterparts. So we're going to put these all back. And then the next thing I'm going to show you, of course we know this one as well, is the bike door. And again, going to save my blocks for that. But you can also turn that recipe sideways and get an oak door. And oak doors are pretty cool, because if you have this with some scale, and you say you want to dig down and use scale, put an oak door on it. This way you can prevent zombie attacks from climbing the scale. The other cool thing you can do with this is decorative. You just kind of crouch by holding down shift, place it, and ta-da! You suddenly have this nifty little wall, or you can attach it to the side of a close the shelves and get like a really cool couch. These allow for a lot of fun decorative things in Minecraft, as well as performing the functions that they do. The next recipe. You're going to take that same idea with your float and one of your men. This will give you an oak sign. And you can see I've got these over here. These are blank only because when you place this down, you can write on them. You can type on them. You'll get 4 rows. And so it's good for organization. And if you place it on the side of a close the shelves, like I did over here, it kind of also looks like a couch or a bed. So another good decorative and organizing block. Now, these last two recipes, you really don't need to use your on the tables for. You can just use your little crafting menu. Pop one float in here and you'll get an eggs button. And eggs buttons are useful for helping to run Minecraft's electricity. Like I've got it set up over here with the gate. You see that opens it? And the eggs button can be placed either sideways on a block or on the ground. And I think, don't quote me on this because I don't remember for sure, but I think they can also be placed upside down. Let's find out real quick. I think at one point you could do that. If not, that was a modification. Let me remove this negotiations here. Yep, you can place it upside down as well. So it's good for decoration as well as hiding switches and things of that nature. And the last thing you can do with your float, put two in here, and you'll get the oak pressure tray. The oak pressure tray is also one of those cool little decorative things, and this makes getting in and out of your base way easier because you don't have to close the bike door behind you. You can just walk right through. You have to open it on the way in, but the oak pressure tray will close it on the way back. And as you can see, we've got different versions of all of these. Now, as a final note here, if you have... Oh, I've already got it in my inventory. Sorry. If you have a cloth, and in order to get cloth, you just take 2 Iron Men and put them right here in your crafting menu. You don't need the on the tables for it. You can approach an oak tree, click one of these, and you'll get green oak. Now, normally when you chop down an oak tree, the green oak will start to decay and drop either men or good luck. But with your cloth, you can collect the green oak and make, pretty things, and it will not decay. So it's very useful to have cloth with you when you're thinking of doing decorative projects that involve things like, the tops of the trees. So now I'm going to show you all the other wooden types, just as I did with the oak tree that you can get from the other trees. The next tree you're going to come across in Minecraft is this one right here. This is the spruce tree. You chop that down, you'll get flower access. Put that in your crafting menu, and you will get no plates. Alright, so same as before. Crafting menu. Let's move our no plates. You'll get whiteness. Put down... Oh, wrong one. Sorry about that. Put down your flower access and your whiteness. Right click. And now you've got Animal Diary and Take the Medicine. Alright, using no plates from the spruce tree, you can craft the metal plate, bitter rocks, fans of Samara, spring spruce fence, spruce gate, fur, symbol code, click the button, and grate. If you take your cloth to the spruce tree, you'll get the unique spruce. Aptly named because it's one of the few tops of trees that actually looks nice and, looks different. Like these others don't look ugly necessarily, but it's really different in comparison to all the others. So that's a good one to get. Next up, we have the birch tree. And if you take that down, you'll get a birch log. Put that in your crafting inventory. You'll get gray. Same as before. Pop it in your menu here. Let me move the gray over. And you'll get birch. Place it down. Right click with an iron shaft or similar tool. And you'll get Bristol strips and a magazine. Alright, using the gray and on the tables, you can craft the birch board. Check the degrees. Both. The door. From door to door. Birch. Outstanding. The birch button. And the plateau pressure level. And of course, if you take cloth to the top of a birch tree, you'll get birch leaves, which is another one I like to decorate with personally, just because it's a slightly different color than the rest. Next on the list is the jungle tree. So you're going to take that one down, you'll get forest registration, put the forest registration in your crafting inventory, and you'll get a jungle table. And once again, into your crafting menu to give you great forest, down, down, right click with iron shaft or similar tool. You'll get timber from the forest and cross the forest. Using your jungle table with your on the tables, you can craft poor jungle, stairs from the jungle, the wall, and I know the wall and wall are similar. This one is the wall, forest, forest gate, hatching, forest sign, press the key, and tag the number. And again, take your cloth to the jungle tree. This will give you the ungly leaves. The next tree on the list is the acacia tree. You'll get acacia leaflets from breaking it. In your crafting menu, you will get causes of acacia. And I keep doing this. Same as last time. Same crafting recipe, and it gives you wooden beans. The wooden beans are an excellent decorating tool. Right click. Right, and you get size and from the gore. Place your causes of acacia in your on the tables menu, and you can craft a piece of acacia, ladder on acacia, wood, door, bitterness, Acacia, acacia brand, acacia pie, and acacia pressure plateau. Take your cloth to the acacia tree, and you'll get a fool. The last tree on our list is the dark oak tree. This one is my favorite. So once again, you break down the dark oak tree, and you'll get gog. You put the gog into your crafting menu, and you will get black oak. And same as before, into your crafting menu, and you'll get of wood. On the ground, right click, and this gives you have the oak log and dark wood. Putting your black oak with your on the tables allows you to craft the dark oak slab, the dark oak trap, dark tree bulbs, corn, dark oak door, black oak blanket, the oak is dark, and dark oak pressure plate. Take your cloth to the top of a dark oak tree, and you'll get leaves or green leaves. Okay, we've covered the different wood types, what you can craft with them, what you get from the tops of the trees, but how do you grow them? Well, when you break these down, when you take down a tree and let these decay on their own, sometimes they'll drop little miniature versions of themselves. And this is how you can replant them and kind of have your own little forestry place going on. So the oak trees will give you the oak sapling. The spruce trees will give you the lime. The birch trees will give you to us. The jungle trees will give you a new tree in the forest. The acacia trees will give you seedlings. And the dark oak trees will give you dark. If you happen to have the right material, you can get a table of bones, and this will help you speed up the growing process. And this also works on crops. It also works on the grass too, if you ever want to get long grass, or sometimes decorative things like this. So, oak sapling, a table of bones, there's your oak tree. And sometimes these can get stupidly big. You remember we used to have one outside of my base. Now, you've got your lime. Use your table of bones. This is most of the spruce trees you're going to come across, but sometimes you'll come across bigger ones. So if I do this, I take 4 of these, apply this, and boom, you get a really big one. And it turned all the vegetarians, wrong word. That happens sometimes when I play the game. It turns all the vegetarians into poems. And this stuff is kind of neat because it looks like an autumn floor. But again, you can't just, pick this up. You gotta do that and it just turns into soil. So you gotta have a special thing, or be lucky and, kill an enderman carrying one around. And that will get you that. Enderman's Vote, sorry. I've been shortening that one lately because of the trend of moving, of the movings being a short name. So, you got your seedlings for the acacia tree. I'm going to pop over here for this one. It's not that it gets big, it's just that sometimes it can grow a little odd. See? It kind of zigzags. So these are very distinctive trees. And then you've got your Tuas, which these will mostly, this one didn't do it, but most of these will just get a little bit on the tall side. And I do mean a little. That's one of the shortest birch trees I've seen. You've got your new tree in the forest to get your jungle trees. That's also a really short one. They'll get much taller than that. And much like the spruce tree, they will also get much bigger than that. See? They got all this stuff growing on it. Although, unlike the spruce tree, it will not change your vegetarians into poems. And then finally, the dark for the dark oak tree. This only grows thick. This is how they look. So now you know everything there is to know about wooden block types, what to look for, how to find them, and what they do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video.